Center for Spiritual Living. So good to be here this morning. All those who are viewing us online, welcome to you and welcome to everybody here. Welcome to you if this is your first time or your manyth time, uncountable number of times. We welcome our guest singers, Z and Melissa. We're just so pleased and happy to have you here with us today. So I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and I get to participate with you guys because I'm going to leave it all over to you guys. So come on up and give us a little opening song here.
Thank you, Jay. So much for having us. Thank you for everyone who's here and everyone who's with us online. We're going to get started with a newer song. I think you've heard it. Yes.
Because Georgia sang it. It's called I Say Yes. Do you remember? Any of you remember that? Well, you get to say yes again this morning with me. And this time we have Z.
This time there's a little extra part, a little call and response. So.
Good you have for me. Yes to this good and let it bless me. All of the good that you wanna bring, I allow it and I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I think we're gonna sing about joy, but I'm not sure if we change the slide. No, we're gonna stay on good. Okay, now you know it. I say yes to the greatest good you have for me. Yes to this good and let it bless me. All of the good that you wanna bring, I allow it and I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I think it's you.
So much good.
So much good.
All the time.
All the time.
I can take it.
I can take it.
'Cause it's mine.
'Cause it's mine.
Spirit's gonna give it.
Spirit's gonna give it.
And I'm gonna get it.
And I'm gonna get it.
I align.
I align.
With the divine.
With the divine.
Yes, I align.
Yes, I align.
With the divine.
With the divine. The greatest good you have for me. Yes to this good and let it bless me. All of the good that you wanna bring, I allow it and I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. Yes. I say yes, 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 yes. One more of those. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes.
Yes. Woo! Y'all sounded great.
Oh, you sounded great. Thank you for being here today. And, you know, Georgia, I liked when you did just say yes, but the little rap part, you didn't do that part. So that was a great addition. Thank you. Thank you, Z. It's got to have Z. Great partnership here. Well, welcome once again to everybody here. It's such a pleasure. I know it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and we're back to mask. And I wish it was different, and we have to accept what science is telling us. And I appreciate you being willing to do that. I always say that it's community, whether you're wearing masks or not. It still feels like community, and it's community online too. I hope you feel that, because our prayers are holding all in love and in light. And we'll be opening up a prayer in just a minute, but I wanted to just give you a few things. First of all, we'd like to honor our guest and honor everybody here in just saying our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen and repeat with me, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. An affirmation for us this morning and all the time, really, as we continue to be connected with Spirit, saying yes and being aligned with the divine in order for this vision and mission to come forth. A few announcements I do want to mention. This week, I'm starting a new class called Journey of the Soul. It features, you don't need to move the camera, I'll be back into it in just a minute. It features this book here called The Magic of the Soul, which is a great book by Patrick Harbala. He's a minister in our CSL movement. And has a teaching center, and so it's really good. And one thing I love about it is it talks about spiritual health and healing from a soul perspective. So it's deeper than just a head thing, like you're going to think your way through something. It's a depth of practice that you connect with your soul, and that changes things significantly. And there's a number of applied tools in the class that he's developed, and some I'll add that are my own. And I loved what he talked about it. We can shift our consciousness from a negative place or from a problem mode to a solution mode by using our emotions as biofeedback. So in other words, if we're feeling uncomfortable with a situation or discontent, if we trace that back to what the trigger is, but more importantly is we shift our consciousness to move towards what we really want, what experience we want, rather than focusing on what is creating the discomfort or discontent. We feel that, but then we move towards what we're experiencing. So this book helps us shift from a soul level, those shifts in our lives, to create what right now may seem like a separation or a disconnect or a challenge in our lives. We move towards what we want to experience, but from the soul level. So I love that. And then letting you know also, this class is one of the prerequisites among many that for practitioner classes, which ultimately you have to have 6 classes, which is a lot. But I've been reading through the practitioner material, and what I found out is that you don't need to have all 6 classes before we start class. We're going to start a class on September 15th or middle of September. I'll give you the exact date soon. And as long as you're moving towards getting those classes, we can do some parallel education within the practitioner curriculum. And if you don't want a practitioner, are there people that usually we have one up here doing spiritual reflection, Diana Browning, Georgia Davis, both are, and if you have questions about it, ask them about it. But basically, they're prayer partners, and they're the healing arm of the center. So we're going through a new training starting middle of September. And even if you just had a few of our classes, you're welcome to sign up for it. And we will help you get the rest of the classes in parallel education. But the first year is called The Inner Journey, and it's just about self-growth and continued consciousness building towards that. And then if you want to be a second year is about developing the skills to be a practitioner. You don't have to continue that. You can just stop with the first year that's about inner journey, 1 year at a time, so to speak. It's taught over the whole year, but there will be breaks during the year. It won't be consecutive weeks, so we'll have breaks built into it. So let me know if you're interested in that. And then also September 18th is our big Sip and Savor fundraiser, wine tasting benefit. A couple things you need to know about it. First of all, the tickets are now on sale. There's a link provided to you online or probably going across the screen at some point. And also we're still looking for donations for auction items. There's also a link for that. And like any fundraising event, we need volunteers. Now, this is an in-person event. If things get more out of whack than they are now, we'll go to a online only. But right now we're planning for an outdoor, out in our courtyard, beautiful courtyard, and have wine tasting and music and an auction and this community feel. We'll have an art project, different things. So we're really looking forward to this. And we need people who will help greet people and get people, and help set up the auction and set up the wine tasting tables and just kind of setups. And Karen Reed, you want to stand up? I saw the clipboard this morning. The clip. So she'll be around. If you already know you would like to volunteer for the event, please see Karen. Otherwise, she will find you, I guarantee. So thank you, Karen. And thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. So September 18th from 2:30 to 5:30 is the event. So thank you for being a part of that in whatever way you can. We'll also be streaming online if you feel more comfortable with that, but we'd prefer you to be there in person because that is the community feel. We're celebrating cultural diversity as our theme this year. Tonight starts a new recovery group that we're starting. That's an alternative kind of recovery group that's based on the Buddhist middle way, Four Noble Truths and the middle way. And so it gives you a different focus, a more spiritual focus. It still includes all types of recovery. And matter of fact, we call it kind of an NEA group, which means NEAA. And that starts tonight at 7:00. Amy Riddling, one of our new congregants, is leading it. She's excited about this. It's the only recovery group like this. It's called a Dharma recovery in Northern California. So she thinks it's going to be well attended. And you don't need to contact her ahead of time. You can just show up here at 7:00, or there on our website, there are ways to email her if you're interested in that. And August 20th is our, at 6 p.m. in the evening, is our community picnic out in our courtyard. Just bring some food for yourself, and we'll have community to share at that time, but it'll be a time to gather together. And then on September 11th, we're doing Interfaith Peace Commemoration. We're not sure of the location right now, but we know it's going to start at 6:00. So mark your calendars for that. And the idea is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and the interfaith group I'm part of, which includes a rabbi, an imam, Christian groups, us, the Unitarians, and come together as one to pray, to connect, and commemorate, but also know peace from now until the future. So please mark your calendars for that. And with that, I think that's enough of me talking. So I'm going to leave it. Now we're going to begin the sacred part of our service.
with you.
From the silence, there is one. From the silence, there is love. From the silence, Spirit speaks. Spirit speaks to me. Spirit speaks to each and every one of us here, in our hearts, our minds, our souls. I'm grateful for this opportunity today to listen as Spirit speaks, to be open to that communication coming from deep inside us and all around us. For Spirit is indeed here in each and every one of us, and Spirit is here all around us, in the life all around us. I'm grateful for eyes that can see, ears that can hear, and a soul that knows. And I'm grateful for it deepening into this process today, in this gathering here of beautiful, alive souls ever becoming more aware of who and what we are. And I give thanks. I give thanks that Spirit is expressing perfectly as me, as each and every one of us here, and as this service today. And as I give thanks, I just release this to that law of love that knows only yes, yes, yes. I say yes. We say yes. Spirit says yes. And if you are in agreement with this prayer, please repeat after me. Amen. Ashe. And so it is.
So it is. Let me hear you. Let me feel you. Oh, Spirit, deepen my walk with you.
And from the silence, there also comes something completely different, because that's what we're going to do now. So Melissa and I do these word songs, we call them, and this is the very first one we ever wrote was when I was in ministerial school. I literally heard a voice that said, do a rap. And I started to argue. I spent a long time arguing, but then here we are. So this has a simple call and response. You'll see, you'll pick it up. Melissa will help you with it. That's all you need to know. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. I like to move, don't be alarmed. Back in the day, there wasn't a day. There wasn't a night. There was nothing. God came along, said, let there be light. The sky cracked open, what a beautiful sight. It was a big bang.
Big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang.
It was a big bang.
A big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang. Big bang.
A man named Buddha sat under a tree. M-E-D-A-T-A-T-I-N-G. All of a sudden, his life was changed. The whole entire world was rearranged. It was a big bang.
Big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang.
It was a big bang.
A big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang. Big bang. You and I in the midst of the ever changing life. Everything. All creation goes on and on and on. Yeah.
Away in the manger, a baby was born, and the world got better that blessed morn. His name was Jesus, and he came to stay. He said, I am the truth, the light, the way. He was a big bang.
A big bang.
He was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang.
He was a big bang.
A big bang.
He was a biggity biggity bang.
A biggity biggity bang. Big bang. Yeah.
The cave of Hira was a special spot where a dude named Muhammad liked to chill a lot, till the angel Gabriel came one day, said, boy, you better listen what I gotta say. It was a big bang.
A big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang.
It was a big bang.
Big bang.
It was a biggity biggity bang.
Biggity biggity bang. Big bang. You and I in the midst of the ever changing life. Everything. All creation goes on and on and on.
God gave us Buddha, Muhammad, and Christ. But in spite of all that, we continue to fight. Now it's up to us to get it done, because no matter where you look, there's only one. Right? Big bang!
Big bang.
We are a biggity biggity bang.
A biggity biggity bang.
We are the big bang.
We're the big bang.
We're the biggity biggity bang.
The biggity biggity bang.
Thank you. Melissa's fixing me up. Okay.
Shifting gears, talking. Okay, so have you ever been cruising down the path of life, just cruising along your path, and then bam, all of a sudden, like the Big Bang, all of a sudden, there's a raging river in front of your feet, like your path was here. You maybe or maybe not see where it's picking up on the other side of this river, if you can even see to the other side, but you see no way over. Anyone ever? Yeah, right? So, Whether the stream is big or small, raging or mellow, what we experience is that by the simple act of asking for help to get across, your way will be made clear and better. So, in Centers for Spiritual Living, we talk about and teach and learn affirmative prayer. You've heard it, you maybe know what it is, but it's a powerful way of praying. And it's not a beseeching kind of prayer. And Z and I love that prayer. We're ministers, right? So obviously we like this stuff. And what we have found is there's also another very, very powerful way of praying that is simply asking. Asking, like help, right? And so we're suggesting that you ask Spirit, and you ask, everyone Spirit suggests that you ask for help. So the good news about this is help always comes. Whether or not we recognize it right away as the answer to the ask, it always comes. We ask, we listen, always there's an answer. And so we're going to talk this morning about a couple of our personal experiences of raging rivers suddenly appearing in our path and getting to the other side. And Z is going to start.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Melissa. So our message today is basically very simple. We're just saying, ask Spirit for help, right? Well, I don't know about you, but I know sometimes when I most need to ask for help, I forget. Right? Does anyone have that experience, right? When oh yeah, I should have asked Spirit for help, right? So Melissa and I actually have come up with a hack for that, which is we ask for help all the time. And when you ask for help all the time, it gets easier to remember in those times when it most seems remote, right? And it's been interesting for me because I ask for help all the time now, all the time. Before I make a phone call, before I make a decision. Last night, in the middle of the night, I was awake. I asked Spirit to help me go back to sleep. I went back to sleep. I mean, it kind of feels like, is this cheating through life to do this? Because it really does make things easier, right? And you can ask for help for big things and little things. For me, a big raging river happened in my life and a need to ask for help soon after I graduated from college. I majored in English in college, which is another way of saying I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Shout out to the English majors out there. So I found myself, after college, working on a farm. This was in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And it was owned by an elderly gentleman from the South named Hollis Lovell. And it was managed by a young Yankee named Stewart. Now, Stewart was a real Yankee. He only spoke about 5 words a day. And that was only when asked a direct question. So he was very intense. Yep, for sure. So manager Stewart talked owner Hollis into buying a bunch of equipment for this farm because the farm was about 4 acres and was mostly being managed by hand, almost like a big garden. So he talked Hollis into buying all this new equipment, including a brand new big old John Deere tractor. Oh, that thing was beautiful. Only Stewart could drive it, though. And this was all well and good, and we got the farm working a lot more efficiently. But then about 2 months after Stewart had all this equipment come, he decided he was going to leave and start his own farm. So now we were left without a manager and no one to drive the tractor. And Hollis decided I could do it because we'd gone to the same college. So I was supposed to run the farm and drive the tractor. And let's put it this way. I was 24 years old. I did not have a driver's license. Because when I was taking driver's ed in high school, which is what we did back in the day in Ohio, I was terrified of that class. Now, it didn't help that I was a gay, gender-rich nerd, and I did not yet know that those were all good things, right? I was just not happy, not in my body, not a driver. And the driver's ed teacher was really scary. She was rumored to have a bunch of DUIs, and she drove demolition derby cars on the weekend. And then there was 2 other kids in my driver's car with me, one of whom grew up on a farm. So he started driving probably when he was in diapers. And then the girl that was in the car with me, I think got most of her driving experience from stealing cars. These people were seriously intimidating to me. I just couldn't drive. So needless to say, I didn't pass the class and I didn't get my license. So here I am, 7 or 8 years later, and I'm being told I'm going to drive this tractor now. So Stuart stuck around for about 2 weeks and trained me. But, allotted 5 words a day, didn't learn too much. I got a little bit. I still remember my first day alone on the farm. It was a Friday. And the morning went pretty well. And then I had to till a field with the tractor. And in order to do this, I had to attach the tractor to a rototiller. And I mean like a rototiller, like this big thing. And the only way to get the rototiller on the tractor was to back the tractor directly into this tiller, and had these big metal U hitches, right? So I'm all, I can do it. So I get on the tractor and I back it up, and I got close. So I go forward, I back again, a little closer. Try again, a little farther away this time. So I try again, a little farther. Then I tried again and again and again and again. I tried for about an hour to back that tractor into the tiller, and I couldn't do it. So there was my river. There was my raging river right in front of me. Like, what am I going to do? If I can't drive this tractor, I can't run this farm. If I can't run this farm, like, how am I going to do this? Now, I had discovered the spiritual path at this point. So I finally remembered, right? I was not asking for help all the time yet. So it took me a while, but I finally remembered. So I closed my eyes and I said, help. Because, I know I'm not begging and beseeching. I know Spirit is right here, all around. Answer is always going to come. But still, sometimes asking for help sounds like, help. So that's what I said. And I listened. And I heard, step away from the tractor. And then I heard, go home. So I went home. And by that, I mean, I rode my bike home. And I spent the weekend just kind of meditating on my dilemma. What was I going to do? Now, like I said, I discovered the spiritual path. And when I discovered the spiritual path, it was a huge revelation for me. And I said, Spirit, my life is yours, right? Like I'm giving you my life. You're going to tell me what to do with my life now. And one of the first things Spirit told me to do was go to the farm. And so I didn't know why I was supposed to be on the farm. I just knew Spirit had led me there. And I didn't know how I was going to drive that tractor. I didn't know how I was going to run the farm. I just knew that I was supposed to be there. And that's all that I knew. So I knew that I needed to just take the next step and go back to the farm. So I did. Monday morning, I went back to work. And by that, I mean, I rode my bike back to work. And I'll never forget what happened. I jumped on that tractor and I backed it into the tiller. And the first time, it went right in like butter, like I've been doing it all my life. And I'll always remember that moment because I remember sometimes when we're in front of that river, we just need to take a break. We just need to step away from the tractor and simply ask Spirit for help. And in my case, it was like Spirit built a little bridge over the river and I drove my little tractor over that bridge. I stayed at that farm for 7 more years. And in that time, I got to see why Spirit wanted me there. I had grown up in a really academic environment. And by being on the land in bare feet sometimes, I really grounded in my body. By growing food and watching that cycle, it helped me heal from an eating disorder. Being at the farm allowed me to wear whatever clothes I wanted and begin to embrace my gender-rich identity. I learned to drive that tractor really well, including backing up. I'm still, to this day, proud of my backing skills. I'm kind of mad at those backup cameras because, come on now, like I can do it without those. And I did get my driver's license. And also being asked to come forth in leadership in that way helped me grow in confidence and self-esteem in the most kind of amazing and beautiful way, right? Spirit is so much smarter than I am. And all of that happened because I was willing to ask. I was willing to ask for help. When we ask for help, Spirit always answers. Now, the answers might not come like we think they're going to. It might not come in the timing we think they're going to, but they always come. When we ask and we listen, the answers always come. So now, whenever I'm in front of a particularly gnarly river, I remember, step away from the tractor and listen. And listen. And now with another story about asking for help, here's Melissa.
Melissa, that's going to be fun. So when I was 13 years old, I quickly became a full-blown drug addict. 13. Now I know how young that is. Anything to avoid being me. Feeling all those feelings, 13, all those feelings. And being me back then, there was like a lot of feelings, and I didn't have any idea how to navigate them all. So I numbed them. Now, for a long time, I didn't have that explanation of what was going on, right? I was just partying, which for me back then meant a lot of heavy drugs all day, every day. So fast forward some years and dabbling, in addition to drugs, in spiritual stuff, workshops and reading and stuff. So I was dabbling in that. My drug use had shifted and adjusted to just pot and alcohol. Now, there are probably those of you in here that are like, pot and alcohol, not a problem. But for me, pot and alcohol brought me down. I could not stop. So that, by the age of 31, I found myself totally lost. My life had been heading on this one trajectory, and I was about to move to LA. I had management that was going to help me with my career. You can guess what career that was. I was very excited about that, and suddenly it all fell through. Raging river. And there I was. No idea what to do. No idea what to do, and totally lost, really depressed. At that point, I had no conscious, ongoing, spiritual practice with Spirit, so I didn't pray like I would pray today. But I was walking around, suffering deeply, lost, feeling depressed, and kind of constantly crying out for help from the universe. Just bring me something that lights me up again, right? And for a long time, nothing happened, months. And then I had a friend who came and visited me, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And she saw the state I was in, and she said, you know, this would be a really good time for you to come spend some time at my house with me in Hawaii. And whoosh, all of a sudden, I was lit up oh my God, go spend time with my friend in Hawaii at her house, right? It was the first thing that intuition just said, yes, you gotta go, go. I was like, whoa, okay, all right. So I'm gonna go to Hawaii. So that was great. So I decided that while I was there for 6 weeks, I would do a cleanse. Now, I decided that I would do this cleanse that would include abstaining from drugs, pot, and alcohol in order to get clear about what my next steps are, right? And boy, howdy, did I get clear. But that's not what I got clear about. I got clear about how hard it was to be me. Feeling my feelings, all those feelings, and not numbing them it felt impossible and very overwhelming, really excruciating. So I did come back to California and I did return to my drug use because I was done with my cleanse, right? But something had shifted, something had changed. During that time in Hawaii, I had woken up to something, which was I didn't want to be using. And so it didn't work the same way. Every day, those first 2 months that I was back, every day was going to be the first day that I didn't use. Today, and at night, tomorrow, right? But and every day I would use, and I would hate myself. Every day. Ugh. Okay, so one particular day, I had run out of drugs. And I thought, because it was really mostly drugs for me. Alcohol was like something I could use when I didn't have the pot. But pot was my thing. And I had run out. And so I thought, well, that's perfect. I want to stop anyway. So it's good. I won't get any more. That was a good choice, right? And I actually made it through a day because I didn't have any. And that night at 11 o'clock at night, I was already in bed. I called my brother, got up and dressed and drove over an hour for what he had on hand, which was one joint. And while I was driving, I will never forget this. I'm in the car driving this hour for this joint, and I laughed to myself and I said, this is like almost like what a drug addict would do. I literally thought that, right? Almost. So fast forward a few months, actually, kept going. And every morning was going to be, today's going to be the day. And every day I would use and hate myself and tell myself tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the day. Now, the cool thing, Spirit is so amazing. Right around that time, right after I got back from Hawaii, I met a new friend. And this friend was 3 years sober. His thing had been alcohol. And he was like gutter drunk alcoholic. He would tell me these stories that I was shocked and often disgusted by, things he had done and who he had been. But he was 3 years sober. And he was like really a happy, highly functioning guy. He had, he was like doing really well. And something about that kept working through, kind of tickling my consciousness. Like, if he can do it after those stories, maybe I could do it. So one particular night, I found myself picking up the phone. I had a joint in one hand, book of matches, remember matches? Book of matches in the other hand, and I called my friend Barry, and I got his answering machine. Remember answering machines? Yeah, got his answering machine, left him a message. I'm sitting here with a joint in one hand, matches in the other. I was hoping you would talk me out of lighting this. But oh well. So you can imagine, he called me when he got home. And he asked me if I was high, and if I was sorry, and if I wanted to stop. And I said, yes, I'm high. I cried. Yes, I'm sorry. And yes, I want to stop. And he said, I have some suggestions. I want you to hang up, get a phone book, look up 12-step program, call, find a meeting you can go to tomorrow. It's my list. And go tomorrow and raise your hand at the end of the meeting and say you're an addict and you need phone numbers for the next time you want to use. And I did all three of those things. I left that meeting with 6 phone numbers and a sponsor. And that was the first day I made it through the day. all the way through the day. Now, you might imagine I had to ask for help that day to make it through the day. And that day was Friday, July 31st, 1989. And today, one day at a time, I now am clean 32 years, 1 day, and a bunch of hours. And I've gotten pretty good through that time at navigating my emotions, but I've gotten even better at asking for help. This deeper relationship with Spirit has made me comfortable leaning into Spirit and asking and asking and asking and asking. So much so that I listened and heard that Spirit told me to go to ministerial school of all things and become a minister. And now here I am standing here talking to you about asking. What? That person becoming this person is a miracle. But we are talking to you about asking because our experiences, all the best stuff comes from asking. Asking, listening, and following. Now, that day, when my friend came to visit me, I did not know that the intuition that yelled at me to go to Hawaii was Spirit. But that's one of the great things to know. Spirit is your intuition. It lives right inside of you, guiding you, nudging you. Nah, don't go that way today. Eat that, not that. Don't say that to that person. Say that later. Say this to that person, whatever that is, right? I didn't know when I was so lost. That was my intuition. And if you're ever lost, you can know Spirit is talking to you right now through your intuition, leading you to the bridge over the body of water that is before you. Because we are always facing some body of water, big or small river, little pond, and every time you ask and listen and follow, you'll get to a better place. So ask. As Z said, ask all the time so that you remember to ask when you're like thrown by something and you're in it. So you remember. Ask all the time. Listen all the time and get answers all the time. For now, I'd like you to take a deep breath and close your eyes. And allow whatever comes to mind to come. Picture, image, story, word, whatever comes. In what area of your life do you find yourself standing at the water's edge? And have you been already getting guidance from your intuition? And if so, what has it been saying? What is it saying? If not, that's fine too. And as you see yourself standing at this water's edge, tune into your heart. And allow whatever comes to come up for you as you ask. Spirit, what do I need to know or do about my very next step? What do I need to know or do? Just my very next step. What is mine to do and not do? And Spirit, do you have any kind of symbol for me? A color, a picture, a sign? Some kind of sign that will help to lead me in your best direction to your greatest good? Great. Now be aware that whether the clarity came now or comes later today or sometime soon, to listen, 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 because Spirit will bring answers to these questions. And for now, take one more deep breath and return your awareness to the room. Thank you.
Let us pray. Invite you to take another deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, grounding into your seat. Inhale again. Exhale.
Spirit, carry me. Spirit, carry me. I can't see my way over, so I pray till you carry me.
One life, one source, one power, Spirit, divine, sweet Spirit. This is the truth of me, living inside me, living as me, breathing me in each and every moment, including this one right now. This is the truth of each and every one of us here. And I am grateful for knowing this. And I claim and affirm for each of us here today in the room, each of us listening online, that we are opening to a deeper level of asking Spirit for help, listening to Spirit and hearing those messages. Whether they come from within, whether they come from other people, whether they come from messages, from music, from nature, whatever it is, I'm grateful for the opening of the ask, the big ask. I claim for each and every one of us a deeper movement into this process. And as we build this relationship with Spirit, as we build this communication and this receptivity to Spirit's answers, it not only blesses our lives, it blesses the lives of everyone we know and everyone they know. The ripples of the big ask moving out to the entire planet, to the entire universe. And I am grateful. I'm grateful for Spirit's love in those answers. Spirit's love, Spirit's peace, Spirit's blessing. So I release this prayer knowing it is done. It is done. And I am grateful.
Spirit, carry me. Spirit, carry me. I can't see my way over, so I pray till you carry me. and I stay till you carry me.
And if you are in agreement, in alignment with this prayer, please repeat after me. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. One of our favorite examples of asking for help, listening, and following is Harriet Tubman. So we wrote a song about it.
No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you.
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, "I want you to help free others." You know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said, "No." She said, "Not me." She said, "I can't. I can't." But the voice wouldn't let up. It wouldn't let her be. "I want you to help free others. I want you to help free others." Finally, Harriet Tubman, the woman who would be known as Moses, said yes. Yes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light.
True story. Harriet Tubman, with the help of the Union Army, once freed 750 enslaved people in one day. Can you imagine? 750 people. She liberated an entire plantation. The voice of spirit doesn't mess around. When you listen to that voice, you are never the same. When you listen to that voice, you are free. And it doesn't stop there. You take others with you. The 750 are still alive today. They're your sisters and your brothers in struggle and in pain. They're your doubts and your fears when you say, "I can't," but you can and you will. When you walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Yeah. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light. No matter where your starting from. There is a voice calling you, yeah, taking you home. You've gotta
Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed the voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its ways. It wasn't just the people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guide.
It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was an amazing song. That was an amazing song. I mean, what a beautiful example for us all to follow, right? And well said, well inspirational through your music. So thank you. And thank you for your talk. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here today. This time in our service when we have opportunities to give to support the center. I know many of you give of time, talent, and treasure, and we appreciate all that. What I also know is that which you give, whether it is time, talent, or financial abundance, it comes back to you in the law of circulation. So we appreciate that, and you should appreciate your own giving. So while we have, we're not passing baskets, obviously, from person to person. We have baskets in the front and the back. You're welcome to come up here and give or give to the back. And also just to reflect on your blessings in your life, things to be grateful for. Melissa's going to play a little song for us here. So while you're reflecting.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So we know that which you've given today or online or this week possibly you sent in, we know that it is a blessing, and we just affirm it by saying, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Also, we'd like to, this is the first of the month, so we like to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Does anybody have a birthday in August? Raise your hand. We've got one. I knew of her. Your birthday here. Got some Leos in here. I'm also a Leo. Virgo, because the end of it. That's right. Okay. So everything's not all about Leos, huh? I thought so, right? Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. What do you mean? And then anniversaries, if you have an anniversary to celebrate, I believe absolutely. That's a beautiful anniversary to have. 32, you said? That's awesome. Any other, and I think recovery anniversaries are good to celebrate in the room too. Your anniversary, really? How many years? Oh. Okay, we'll call that a lot. You're right. I could see why I'm going, no, let me think. I think it's 41. Yeah, it is. 39. Right. I know. Michelle's and my anniversary was in July, but we're not celebrating to this month because she's been in the Netherlands, but came back yesterday. I know I am whole, complete, and perfect by myself, but I feel more complete now that she's back home. So that's good. 10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
Yay.
10 years.
Yay.
Yeah. And so we also want to acknowledge anybody who's here for the first time, either online or if you're here in our community in person for your first time. You could raise your hand. We have a special gift for you. We have a couple here. And then we also have I assume couple, sorry. We have two people over here. I shouldn't always assume. Yeah, right. Sorry. And we have an affirmation for you and everybody here. We just raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. And we also celebrate our children, either near or far away, and we simply affirm for them, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. And finally, our community affirmation. But before we do that, remember class registration. If you want to get in that starts Tuesday. And see Karen if you're interested in volunteering. So right there. What? Oh, and what?
Can I?
Yes.
I just wanted to say that we have a table out there, and whether you want any of our stuff, we have lots of stuff. We'd love to have you on our mailing list. I mean, if you like us, we'd love to have you on our mailing list. Otherwise, no. But we do 2 videos, free videos that we send to all the people on our mailing list, our friends, every month. And we love to, every year we record a new birthday video and send it to you so that on the morning of your birthday, it's in your inbox. That's our favorite thing. So anyway, and we'll hug you if you're vaccinated. So sorry. Yeah,
All right.
like that.
Good. Thank you. Yes. All right, let's do our community affirmation. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by spirit.
I am led by spirit.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is. Yeah, so we have the closing version, which is shorter, of the same song. A little louder, please. One time through here. Ready? Woo! Here we go. I want to hear you. They want to hear you in Texas. I say yes to the greatest good you have for me. Yes to this good and let it bless me. All of the good that you want to bring, I allow it and I say yes. What do you say? I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. 2 more. 2 more. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. I say yes, 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 yes. I say yes. Yeah, we forgot that Z was going to do that thing again. So it's a new song. What can I say?
Know that we say yes to all of life and all is well. Have a great week, everybody.